Have you ever typed a request into an AI model, hoping for this brilliant, insightful answer, and instead you get something painfully generic? Or worse, something completely irrelevant? It's a totally universal frustration. You sit there wondering, why do AI models sometimes give us the wrong answer? Well, the truth is, most of the time, the AI isn't actually failing. We're just kind of asking the wrong way. Getting high-quality, targeted responses from generative AI isn't about knowing secret magic spells or complex coding. It's actually about understanding basic structural anatomy. Just like any language or system, there's a right way to structure your communication to get exactly what you want.
Welcome to this explainer. Today, our goal is both incredibly practical and, honestly, incredibly powerful. We're going to completely understand prompt structure. We'll be dissecting a prompt into its 5 core constituent parts. By the end of our time together, you won't just be chatting with AI anymore, you'll be actively engineering your outputs. When you understand the anatomy of how these tools actually process instructions, you can drastically improve the quality of literally everything you generate.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We're going to look at the anatomy of an AI prompt, the core directive, roles and examples, output formatting, and finally, the perfect prompt order. I promise, this complex topic is broken down into highly logical, digestible pieces.
Section 1. Anatomy of an AI prompt. Moving beyond basic chat. We're going to start treating a prompt like a living organism that we need to dissect before we can assemble the perfect request.
Take a look at a basic, vague prompt like, "Tell me 5 good books to read." The AI literally has to guess your genre and format. It's essentially throwing darts in the dark. But contrast that with a structurally sound prompt. "You are a literary critic. Based on my interest in sci-fi, list 5 award-winning books, format as a bulleted list." See the difference? It has distinct anatomical parts working together to completely eliminate the guesswork.
Section 2. The core directive, the engine of your prompt. Let's look at the very first and most crucial part of our dissection. So what exactly is a directive? Well, it's the main concise instruction or question that gives the AI a clear task to perform. Think of it as the engine. Without it, the AI is completely directionless. It'll just wander off, provide fluff, or give you a generalized summary that you can't really use for anything. Everything else in your prompt supports the directive, but the directive itself is the actual task you need done.
And this brilliantly illustrates the concept. Write a clear and curt paragraph about llamas. The word write is our action verb. We aren't just casually saying llamas are cool and waiting for a response, we're commanding it. The best practice here is to always use strong, unambiguous action verbs. Words like write, list, translate, summarize, or solve. You're giving an explicit command.
Section 3. Context, roles, and examples. Guiding tone and structure. Now we'll move on to 2 anatomical components that give the AI a specific perspective and a clear pattern to follow.
Now that we have our engine, we really need to steer it. Let's look at the role or persona first. You are a doctor. Based on the following symptoms, diagnose the patient. Now imagine me asking you for advice on a scrape on my arm versus a medical professional diagnosing a complex illness, right? By assigning a persona, you immediately shift the context and the tone of the AI's output. You can tell it to be a helpful customer service agent, a rigorous data scientist, or even a whimsical poet. It frames the entire response, bringing in the vocabulary and expertise associated with that exact role.
Alongside the role, we have examples. If we just ask the AI to translate, that's called zero-shot prompting, because we gave it 0 examples. It might translate it, it might add a bunch of unnecessary explanations, who knows? But if we use one-shot prompting and provide a clear example, like Q, I like apples, A, me gustan las manzanas, you force the AI to understand exactly what structure you expect. You're showing, not just telling. For complex tasks, giving the AI a blueprint drastically reduces errors.
Section 4. Data and output formatting. The raw material and the final polish. These are the final 2 isolated components of our prompt.
We're now looking at the raw material you feed the AI. Imagine asking an AI, "Hey, predict my future health risks." It absolutely can't do it accurately without background details. But if you provide a specific medical history, say a fractured arm in 2000, hypertension in 2010, maybe a bout of pneumonia and a concussion, you anchor the AI to your specific reality. This background data is totally necessary for the AI to make a valid, personalized prediction. You always want to include relevant facts or background information so the AI has a comprehensive understanding of the task rather than just hallucinating its own facts. Let's move to and see how this builds into output formatting. You might have super messy text like case files, dates, and attorney names just scattered everywhere in a document.
Well, if you explicitly ask the AI to format the output as a structured table with specific columns, the AI will perfectly organize the data for you. Output formatting constraints can magically turn messy text into clean, usable formats like bulleted lists, markdown tables, or specific coding languages. It's a real game changer that saves you hours of manual post-processing.
Section 5. The perfect prompt order. Reassembling the pieces. This brings us to the plot twist. Simply having all 5 components isn't enough, because the order matters immensely. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is understanding how large language models actually process text. They predict the next token. Essentially, they're super sophisticated autocompletes. If you put your directive at the very top and then dump 3 paragraphs of medical history below it, the AI processes that history last. Because it's predicting what comes next, it might just continue writing more fake medical history instead of actually executing your directive. Your instruction simply gets buried by the context beneath it. On the other hand, if the medical history comes first and the directive is at the end, it reads the history, hits your command, and executes perfectly.
So the crucial point is this specific sequence. While not every prompt needs all 5 parts, if you do use them, this is the golden chronological rule to prevent the AI from getting distracted. Step 1. Start with examples if you need them. Step 2. Provide the additional information or raw data. Step 3. Assign the role to set the perspective. Step 4. Give the core directive. Step 5. Specify your output formatting right at the end. By placing the directive near the bottom, right before the format, the AI's immediate next step is to act on your instruction using all the context it just processed.
To wrap things up, let's summarize these core best practices that will absolutely transform you from a basic AI user into a true prompt master. Be incredibly clear and concise with your action verbs. Let the AI know exactly what the task is. Use examples to show the AI what success looks like, especially for complex formatting. Assign roles to instantly dial in the tone and expertise level. Explicitly format your outputs to save yourself hours of editing time. And finally, remember the golden rule of order. Always place the directive near the end of your prompt so the AI doesn't lose the plot.
I want to leave you with this question to think about. Are you just talking to machines, or are you actually directing them? Treating an AI like a human conversational partner is a supernatural instinct, but it's the wrong approach if you want real precision. By understanding and applying the structural anatomy, the directive, the context, the data, and the precise ordering, you take control. You stop hoping for a good answer and start engineering the exact output you need. I challenge you to apply this 5-part anatomy in your very next prompt. You are going to be amazed at the difference. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and happy prompting.